Hello, good evening and welcome to West Ham's official YouTube channel live from the Chigwell Construction Stadium for coverage of tonight's Premier League international match between West Ham United and RSC Anderlecht. Thank you to everyone tuning in this evening. My name is Jude Diedigan and I'll be guiding you through proceedings this evening. Perfect time now to go through the two lineups, starting with today's hosts, West Ham United. In goal is number 1, Tom Wooster. Number 2, Jefton Medine. Number 3 is Lewis Brown. Number 4, Tyrone Akpata. Number 5, Ryan Battram. Number 6, Callum Leacock. Number 7, Lewis Beckford. Number 8 is Riley Hargan. Number 9 is Dan Cummings. Number 10 is Dan Rigg. And number 11 is Joe Scanlon. On the subs bench for Hammers this evening, number 12, Josh Landers. Number 13, Lando Wisu. 14, Gabriel Kaliste. Number 15, Ryan Ayabade. Number 16, Preston Fearon. Number 17, Jeffro Medine. And number 18 is Regan Clayton. And now on to tonight's opposition, RSC Anderlecht lineup as follows. In goal is number 16, Michael Hantiens. Number 49, Jaden Onyeseke. Number 50, Case Barry. Number 56, Amin Maroug. Number 60 is Dwight Edeolio. Number 62, Basil Ronlinks. Number 24 is Alexander de Ridder. Number 28, Antu de Costa. Number 71, and the captain is Nunzio Ngwanda. Number 80, Devon de Corte. And number 90 is Pape Ndao. On the subs bench for Anderlecht this evening, number 86, Lander Giesbergs. Number 40, Adinali Majangi Bia. Number 45, Joel Kana. Number 57, Gassano Silla. Number 65 is Ludovic Waller. Number 72, Babatunde Akumaledi. Number 76 is Terry van der Ven. So thank you for everyone for joining us this evening live from the Chigwell Construction Stadium, home of Dagenham Redbridge, and for today West Ham under 21s. Today's Premier League International Cup match between West Ham and RSC Anderlecht. Of course, the final game for the two teams in this competition in the group stage, in the league standings. Anderlecht have a chance to break into that coveted top two that earn progression into the quarterfinals this evening with a victory. West Ham, of course, 3 defeats out of 3 matches so far, with a chance to stake their claim and showcase their talents against European opposition. So yeah, for the young Hammers, qualification into knockout stages isn't possible, but victory tonight by 2 or more goal margin would ensure they elevate themselves off the foot of the table and above Athletic Bilbao. Meanwhile, 3 points for Belgian counterparts Anderlecht will see them finish the league standings in top spot, ahead of Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United. It is really all or nothing for the visitors, with a point not being enough to qualify for the last 8 of the competition. So for Greg Lincoln's side, another opportunity to showcase their talents against European opposition and potentially attract the attention of those involved in the senior setup. They'll be looking to upset the Belgian party here in Dagenham. Kick-off is in just 5 minutes away here in East London. So thank you everyone for tuning in this evening. My name is Jude Diedigan. I'll be guiding you through things this evening. Thank you for joining us live from the West Ham YouTube channel. Of course, the fixtures so far for the young Hammers: 3 defeats here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium, 4-0 defeats at Athletic Bilbao, and then narrow defeats against Sporting CP and Borussia Dortmund. Lewis Orford, of course, scored a spectacular goal in that defeat to Sporting back in December. Great strike from distance, deceiving the goalkeeper. Against Borussia Dortmund, Dan Cummings found the back of the net after a defensive error. 6 changes from that defeat to Borussia Dortmund. Louis Brown, Ryan Battram, Callum Leacock, Lewis Beckford, Dan Cummings and Joe Scanlon all come into the team. Out go Emmanuel Fajikuru, Dimitri Kalau, Preston Fearon, Elisha Swanmi, Gabriel Kaliste and Josh Landers. Of course, the final match, everyone else has played the games in the Group D. As I mentioned, Dortmund currently topping the table with 9 points, Manchester United in second also with 9 points. Anderlecht currently have played a game less, 2 wins and a draw so far, currently on 7 points. A victory of 3 points today will take them to 10 points, and above Dortmund and Manchester United. As I mentioned earlier, a victory for West Ham by a 2 or more goal margin will take them above Athletic Club. This evening, a win by 4 or more goals will see them go above Sporting's under 21s into 6th position. Of course, Sunderland under 21s and Leeds under 21s also in Group D. So here come the two teams here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium, led out by the respective captains. Of course, here at the home of Dagenham Redbridge, West Ham, of course, in their home kit of claret and blue with white shorts and white socks, and Anderlecht in a white and black strip. So it's a massive game here for Anderlecht. Like I mentioned earlier, really is all or nothing. A point won't do. 3 points will be it to progress into the final 8 of the competition. West Ham, of course, playing for pride, but a chance to elevate 2 positions higher than what they are at the start of the evening is a big incentive, and of course always an opportunity to test themselves against a famous European outfit. 2 teams lining up, just about to go through the handshakes and the pleasantries. Live from its brisk evening here in Dagenham. So of course, Tom Wooster will be in goal once again for the young Hammers. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Lewis Brown coming into the team, as is Ryan Battram, who captained the team earlier on in this European campaign. Here come the 2 teams just shaking hands. Oh, of course, with the referee's kickoff is just about approximately 2 minutes away here in East London. So Josh Ajala not in the squad today. Dan Cummins and Dan Rigg will be leading the line. Of course, Dan Cummins has already scored in this competition so far this season off the bench against Dortmund. Of course, joined from Celtic in the summer, the Scottish international. Just discussing some last-minute discussions on tactics there from West Ham. Just going through things again. Victory today will see him climb potentially as high as 6th position. This is the final match in Group D of the Premier League International Cup. And Anderlecht, it's a massive game for them. They'll want to make sure they avoid an upset and avoid slipping up here this evening. They'll be hoping for a routine 3 points. West Ham are making sure it won't be easy for them. Dan Rigg also leading the line, formerly of course of Manchester City, born in Stockport. 4 caps for England under 16, 5 appearances across all competitions this season. Of course, brothers Jeffro Medine and Jeffter Medine in the squad. 2 captains just getting their photographs done there by the next to the referee, and now they'll go through the pleasantries of the coin toss and choosing who goes, who kicks off first, and of course which side I'll pick. So I mentioned there, kick-off only in 1 minute away here from the Chigwell Construction Stadium in match week 4 of the Premier League International Cup. 3 defeats out of 3 games so far, but a chance to put things right this evening. In a brisk February evening here, weather is holding up thus far. I think we're going to see a quick change of ends here. Just saw the Anderlecht keeper there, Hantiens, racing across to the opposite side, as is Tom Wooster, the West Ham number 1. Just keeping warm here, as I mentioned. Just it is a bit cold, a bit chilly, as you expect from a February evening, and it will be the host to kick things off here with Dan Cummins, of course, the Scottish international, coming in from the start this evening. And away we go. Dan Cummins plays it back, and it's hooved forward towards the right flank, looking for Jeff Tubendine. And Anderlecht going to try and clear this now. They're being pressured by Lewis Beckford, forced towards a corner, but it's really well out there, trying to build from the back. And it's taken down. It's an early foul here inside the opening 20 seconds. Anderlecht already in a hurry to get things underway. It's now in there with the number 64 and Alexander Ritter, all the way back now to goalkeeper Michael Hantiens. He'll go across to the right flank. Early spell of possession here for the visitors. Anderlecht. It's a loose possession. It's picked up there by Beckford. And it's an early foul given by the referee. So it's a first free kick of proceedings. It's given in West Ham's direction. An early chance inside the opening 60 seconds potentially for West Ham to create the first chance of the evening. It's sideways by Riley Hagen out to the left hand side and receive it back off. Hagen all the way back to Ryan Battram. He's pressed in field, but he's going to go back now to number 16 Leacock out to left. Now It's a dangerous pass and pressed well by Anderlecht, and they've won possession back here. They're pressing out from the back. First foray forward from the Belgian side. It's poked forward, looking for the number 71. It's in towards the middle, and it's evaded the forward. It's now going to be worked back out wide and zipped forward. That might have taken a slight deflection. It has, and we'll see the first corner of the game inside the opening 90 seconds. Just see a replay here. Hesitant defending there. Broke to Amir Maroug and just deflects off Jeff de Medine there. And out of play for a corner. So Anderlecht looking to put their stake on the game early on. It will be number 64 and Alexander de Ridder to take the first corner of the match. It's going to be an outswinger. Of course, Anderlecht committing players out from the back. West Ham with an early corner to defend it. It's delivered low. It's caused issues there. It's gone all the way through. Not attacked cleanly. I think that's going to go out of play just for a throw-in, actually. It looked like it was going to outplay for a goal kick there. Taken quickly by Medine in field. Sidesteps the pressure there. Batram. Now it's a misplaced, miscued clearance. West Ham fortunate to get it back there. Now they'll come away with Lewis Beckford down the right-hand side. Made it all the way to the halfway line and tries to play a pass in field, but it's loose again. And now here's de Ridder, who picks up possession and controlled proceedings early on. Turns away and goes out wide. Looking for de Ridder. It's actually found left wing. It's crossed in towards the middle. And it's offside decision given there. But fortunately for West Ham, the ball made its way all the way to Tom Wooster anyway. So 3 minutes gone. It remains goalless here. Anderlecht putting their stake on, putting their stamp on proceedings early on. West Ham now looking to build from the back. It's launched clear but intercepted well by Vonniks, and out of play for West Ham thrown eventually after a loose touch. Good zip and intensity to this game so far. Both sets of players looking to get proceedings back underway as soon as possible. It's now back with Wooster on the edge of his own box. He'll look to clip it down to the right hand side, but it's intercepted well there by Maroug, who will now hack it clear with his left foot. Competing is Batram, actually leaves it for Riley Hagen. And it's another flag there, another offside infringement for Anderlecht. To be a free kick that's taken by Hagen, and he goes square to Akpata, out wide to the left hand side. And on field looking for Dan Rigg, looking to create some magic as he so often does. Here's Akpata. He'll go back to the halfway line. Now Leacock goes back infield to his centre defensive partner. Here's Batram now. Batram forced all the way back to goalkeeper Tom Wooster. 4 minutes gone. West Ham just controlling things early on. Trying to find Jeff de Medine on the right flank, but just about evades him. It's out of play for an Anderlecht throw-in. Now look to build up from the back once again. We're live here from the Chigwell Construction Stadium for the fourth game of the Premier League International Cup campaign. Anderlecht, as I mentioned earlier, need 3 points if they're going to qualify for the quarter-final stage. Another turnover of possession here. Here comes forward now with Lewis Beckford. Found a pocket of space. His poke pass forward to Rigg is intercepted and read well there by the centre-back. It's now going to be out of play for another throw-in. West Ham just injecting some impetus into things early on here in proceedings, the opening 5 minutes in East London. Here's a throw into Anderlecht. It's back now with the defence. And it's up to Dan Rigg and Dan Cummins just to apply the press and make sure Anderlecht don't have the easiest of evenings. West Ham, of course, their job is to spoil the Belgian party this evening, make sure they don't progress into the quarter-final stage at Manchester United's expense. It's cleaned up well here by Callum Leacock. He's able to easily go back to goalkeeper Wooster. Of course, senior experience at Macclesfield and Farsley Celtic on loan a few years back, also formerly of Barnsley. The clearance is cleaned up well and easily there by Amir Maroug, who goes back to goalkeeper Hantiens. He's got time just to put his studs on the ball. On his own box, I think Rigg now, or Cummins, sorry I should say, is trying to apply the press, which forces the goalkeeper to go along towards the right hand side. So searching ball, looking for the winger, and it's going to take on Louis Brown then, and gets away from Brown, gets towards the byline. Again, it's good defending in the end by West Ham, and really good goalkeeping there from Tom Wooster just to command his box and help out his defenders. For a second there, Louis Brown looked to have misplaced or mistimed his challenge, but got away with the end. And now Wooster will go forward once again, up towards looking for Dan Cummings. One in the air, not once, but twice. Anderlecht, and then one in the air by Akpata. It's now back with number 62 in Vromniks, who's forced back. It's a loose pass, and it's going to be picked up by Beckford, who tries to get past. He gets his foot to it first. That's surely a foul. No, the referee will wave play on. Beckford got his toe to the ball there first, and looks to potentially get away from his marker, but he was fairly dealt with in the opinion of the referee. Now it's back with goalkeeper Michael Hantiens. Infield to the captain for Anderlecht, Nunzio Ngwanda, and now back to his goalkeeper. And Rig trying to apply the press. He'll now go long the goalkeeper. It's a fantastic pass, a fantastic touch. Now it's back with the Ridder across the face of the pitch. Now back to his goalkeeper. Anderlecht just being patient here. 7.5 minutes on the clock. They'll know they need to bide their time this evening if they're going to break through this West Ham resistance. As I mentioned, West Ham so far losing 4-0 to Athletic Bilbao, also narrow defeats to Sporting Lisbon and Borussia Dortmund. But definitely has been an improvement in performances as the competition has progressed. So it's a nice flick there, just dealt with bracingly by Louis Brown. Was Dwight Adiorio, just making that point to the referee. It's now back to the left-hand side, all the way back to goalkeeper Michael Hantiens once again, who's seen lots of the ball in the opening 8 minutes. Clips now to left-hand side, looking for Amin Maroug, who's forced back now to his captain Ngwanda. Good press from the hosts, just forcing a little bit of hesitation, but they've broke out well, Anderlecht. There's a loose pass there, but kept in well by Barry, but that presents West Ham with the ball, but Barry just about gets away with his own error. There's a poor pass actually from his captain as well. It's infield across towards the left-hand side. Now it's here with number 49 in Jaden Onyeseke, but cleared well. Now a play for an Anderlecht throw-in. So 9 minutes on the clock, it still remains goalless here. No chances thus far for either side of any real note. Anderlecht threatening with an early set piece. I've just about defended well. Tom Wooster has commanded his box very well, and Hantiens has definitely seen the most of the ball so far. Cleared long and direct again by Anderlecht. One in the air, well, and kept in by Louis Brown, just about, keeps on the ball and receives it back off him, and that time it has gone out of play. Now it's going to be a throw in to Anderlecht. Just in front of the two dugouts here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. And Rig was just getting ready to apply the press there. Again, it's back to the goalkeeper. Anderlecht obviously travelling away from home, away from Belgium, looking to just control things early on. Any potential nerves just to keep the ball, but that's another loose pass. And it's Leacock's pass has bounced off a white shirt, but it's worked back in towards Akpata. Tries to play it forward towards Beckford. It's been lively. He tries to slip in Rig first time, but would he reach it? He won't. It's fantastic defending. It's actually Cummings who was trying to bear down a goal there. And after a moment of hesitation once again from the Anderlecht back line, it is launched clear by Hantiens. And then out of play once again. But that's an early chance there for West Ham. Lewis Beckford looking lively in the opening 10 minutes or so, picking up possession once again, and just looking to be direct and pierce through the heart of the opposition defence. And Anderlecht enjoying possession in the opening 10 minutes here in East London. Hantien's not afraid to come out of his box to receive possession and just control things. He'll play it short to midfielder Alexander Ridder, look out towards the right hand side, but once again it's good play from Hagen to tenacious play just to win the ball back. But again, Anderlecht turn over possession. This is why they've, of course, 2 wins and 1 draw so far in this campaign for Anderlecht. And you expect them to control possession and control things this evening. Rig and Cummings just got their work cut out. That front two, just manage the load between them, make sure that the press is timed right. It's now launched clear towards the left-hand side. And it's going to stay in play here. The Ridder's helping his Onyeseke out there. It's a strong tackle by Nadine, and it's going to be out of play for a throw-in. Strong but fair challenge. So Onyeseke, of course, falling over there from the force of the fullback's challenge. But it won't be a free kick, it will just be a throw-in, which Amin Maroug will take. Onyeseke just gingerly walking off there. Felt the full force of that challenge. It's gone all the way back now to DaCosta. And he'll go back to his goalkeeper. Again, Cummins comes to try and put the goalkeeper off. It's now back with Antwi DaCosta. Space in field for De Ridder, trying to spun away from Hagen. It's really good press. De Ridder does just enough to fend him off and work out to the right hand side. But that's where West Ham feel they're going to find some success this evening, when as Anderlecht try and break out from the back, just trying to apply that press and turn over possession in the final third. I've seen it happen a few times. Beckford, good control of his chest and tries to flick away from Marug. But again, attentive defending from the left back, who goes all the way back to his goalkeeper once again. Now here's DaCosta. Costa just bides his time, allowed to just play it out wide to Marug. And now in field, again Rigg and Cummins trying their best to win the ball back, but it's been a thankless task so far. Of course, Anderlecht's academy famed for producing talents such as Vincent Kompany, Jeremy Doku, Romelu Lukaku, and we're potentially going to see the next superstar from their academy here on the pitch this evening. Still in possession, West Ham pushing higher and higher, just trying to win the ball back. Anderlecht happy just to have things and just be patient and not try and rush anything, and make sure they keep possession in a concise way. Here's Hansiens once again, allowed just to go out to the right hand side. We've seen a few times already Anderlecht have opted to go long and direct once they realise breaking through the West Ham midfield isn't a possibility. So we want to see that again, and we will, from Hansiens. Goes out towards the right hand side this time, dealt well airily by Louis Brown. That's to be cleared down the line. One in the air by an Anderlecht shirt, repelled forward. Rigg tries to let off for Beckford. He were to poke it out wide, looking for Medine. Hesitates and just draws in the defender and goes back to Batram, who got all the way back to his goalkeeper Tom Wooster. Here come the Anderlecht press. It's a dangerous looking pass to Hagen, and put under pressure there. Tries to bounce it around the corner, but he's been forced into an error and out of play for an Anderlecht throw-in. Just like we saw the West Ham press in the opening 10 minutes, Anderlecht can show they also are tenacious and are desperate to win the ball back when they don't have it. It's out of play for an Anderlecht throw-in, as I mentioned there. That will be taken by Basilva on links to short and receives it back off his teammates, and he'll go force all the way back to Barry. And now it's here with Hansiens once again, 25 yards out from his own goal, not afraid to have possession of the ball, just control things, dictate play, almost in that quarterback role. It's now out wide to Nunzio and Gwanda. And now back to goalkeeper once again. Open 15 minutes, we haven't seen too much action in either boxes. Anderlecht definitely controlling possession as things stand. De Ridder out wide to Barry. Riggs in close attention. It's back in field to De Ridder, who just sidesteps away from Cummins. A nice drop of the shoulder. Now he'll go long out to left hand side, looking for Onyeseke, who drifts in field, looking to release, attacking behind. It's a fantastic challenge there, and Hagen needed to make that challenge. Onyeseke would have a space just to pierce through the defence. Now with Ronninks. Back to De Ridder. Here's Ngwanda up from the back, pokes out wide to infield from past Medine. There's another offside offence there for Anderlecht. Just seen a few of these early on. The young Belgian side just straying offside every now and again. It's a brief reprieve for West Ham from the Anderlecht pressure, just to slow things down with experienced Tom Wooster. Of course, for an academy goalkeeper, especially experience, having senior loans at Farsley Celtic and Macclesfield, formerly of Manchester United. There will be a free kick, which, by looks of the West Ham shirts and positioning, is going to go long, and it is. Over the halfway line, looking for Cummings, who wins the header. Controlled well by Onyeseke, and he plays it all the way back to goalkeeper Hansiens. This time Akpata deep from midfield, just following De Ridder there, just maybe a slight tactical tweak from manager Lincoln, just to impose a bit more pressure. Anderlecht playing with fire here, but played out from the back really well. Well, commentators curse there, playing out well from the back until that misplaced pass from the goalkeeper. And it's going to throw in for West Ham. Beckford's going to leave it for Ryan Battram. Chance for West Ham just to commit some players forward early on and put their stamp on proceedings. Battram's looking for options. Beckford's trying to come short. Hagen also is another option. Battram will go towards Medine. He's being pinned. It's back to Battram, who fires a low cross in towards the middle. Unfortunately for West Ham, either Rigg or Cummins was perfectly positioned to turn that one in. But dangerous looking ball. I think goalkeeper Michael Hantiens will be grateful to see that just go into his hands. It's another dangerous play from possession with from Anderlecht, but they played out well. Hantiens under pressure with his weak foot will clear it. It's just about stayed in play, but picked up again, and now it's all the way back now with Leacock. Back to Wooster. Here on the press once again. Wooster clears it long. No real options for the goalkeeper. It's a misplaced bit of control there from Marug. It's a bouncing pass back to his goalkeeper. Once again, he displays his exemplary ball-playing skills. Michael Hantiens just to play his way out of danger. But that's a loose pass. It's picked up by Akpata. Both players going in for it. Akpata's won it not once but twice. It's through now to Cummings. Cummings shoots, and Cummings! That is an unbelievable finish. And West Ham have taken the lead here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Arguably against the run of play. 18 minutes gone. Dan Cummings, fantastic play from Tara and Akpata to win the ball back. Tenacious play from the number 4 of West Ham. Must say a loose pass in from De Ridder. Tried to make up for the mistake, but Akpata just showed that desire to get it through to Cummings. With his left foot, he scoops it from the edge of the box, and that's no chance from Michael Hantiens. 18 minutes on the clock. First shot on target of the game. West Ham lead here in East London. Dan Cummings will be delighted with that. His second goal in this competition of the season, of this Premier League International Cup campaign. Scored off the bench against Dortmund. His second goal of the season. So 19 minutes gone. It's West Ham United 1, RSC Anderlecht 0. Anderlecht now with it all to do. Reminder that they need all 3 points to progress into the quarter-finals of this competition. Anyone isn't aware of the format, it's 8 teams in 4 different groups. The top 2 go through. Anderlecht started today in 3rd. Medine, that's a really good defensive header back to Wooster, just evading the danger there as Anderlecht looked to equalise almost immediately. Interesting to see if Anderlecht change or tweak their tactical style. West Ham now have a lead to protect. Again, it's forward now towards Rigg, who won the header but it wasn't picked up by a claret and blue shirt. Now it's back with Ronlinks. Back with Barry, and he'll go across to his central defensive partner, Nuncio Ngwanda. Barry back away to Ronlinks. Neat drop of the shoulders, just trying to get away from his marker there. Fantastic goal from Cummins again, probably against the run of play, but fantastic finish. But it was all born from that tenacious work by Tara and Akpata. We just saw that tactical change. De Ridder was having a lot of joy in possession as Anderlecht come forward now. A bouncing ball for Wooster to deal with and just about gathers it inside his own box. But I mentioned there, a slight tactical tweak that Akpata was pushing slightly more forward, just trying to put pressure on De Ridder, who's having a lot of joy and time on the ball, just to dictate play. And the minute he was under pressure, he made that mistake, and Akpata just showed a little bit more desire to win the ball, not once but twice, to assist Dan Cummings. And the finish is a classic striker's finish there, getting his shot off early in towards the top corner. So Anderlecht throwing, 20 minutes on the clock. It is West Ham 1, Anderlecht 0 here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. It's back with Michael Hantiens, who will be bitterly disappointed to see his clean sheet and his goal breached this evening. Ngwanda just dropping in field just to try and put a bit more control for his team. The Anderlecht skipper Costa. Beckford applying the press. It's back with Hantiens. Back to Costa again. Anderlecht, minutes after conceding, after trying to play out from the back, not wavering from their style, and that's neat play this time to go out to Ronlinks on that right hand side. Up against Dan Rigg. He is forced back to Ngwanda. West Ham, such a rigid structure, but it's a pass that breaks the lines now. Looking for Devon DeCourte. It's now going to be delivered in towards the box, blocked, but drops back to Here's Ronlinks. Now here's Derrida, who's at fault for that West Ham goal. And Gwanda, Anderlecht pushing up. West Ham's defensive structure is rigid. All 11 players behind the ball. Ronlinks looking to take on Rigg, but really good play there from Dan Rigg just to do his defensive duties well and ensure Ronlinks doesn't bypass him. It's going to be another throw in for Anderlecht. Ronlinks there just helped out by the steward. Ronlinks will go back as Anderlecht look to build again, look to equalise instantly. Ronlinks will be able to cross it in. It's not a bad looking ball. Medin's able to clear. It's bounced back off and now it's out wide with Marug. Marug pokes it to Rio. Back inside to Arugas. Neat play by Anderlecht trying to break through. Where's that going? A fantastic goalkeeper there from Tom Wooster. Almost an own goal there. Thumbs up there from Marug. Started with the left back who poked it out wide and received it. It was a neat little 1-2 from the Belgians. Another 1-2 and bounced off Medin. I'm not sure who got the final touch there. It's actually come off the crossbar. I think it was Medin. It must have been, because I don't think Tom Wooster actually got a touch on that. It bounced off the woodwork and it'll be the second corner of the game for Anderlecht. This one taken by Devin DeCourte and he'll go short. Anderlecht looking to set piece from training ground, but this one is cleared well by Brown. Akpata competing in the air. Beckford flicks it on. Beckford again will apply the press. It's all the way back. That's good defending from West Ham, all the way from an Anderlecht corner to force it back to goalkeeper Michael Hantiens. Anderlecht will to come and break through again, looking for their first goal of proceedings halfway through the first half. As a crossfield switch, looking for Papandreou, but that evades him, and that's out of play for a West Ham throw-in. I believe Ryan Batcham will take. They'll be delighted that they've managed to take the lead early on. Young Hammers here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Batcham again will just take his time with his throw-in. Players lining up down the line. And Anderlecht trying to win the ball back. There's a foul in there. Just crowded out there was Jada Onyeseke. It's going to be a free kick to Anderlecht. It's going to now be taken by Derrida, who's been the architect for Anderlecht this evening. Creative spark. It's going to be a two-player wall for the Hammers. It was going to be until I think Riggs is trying to get instruction from his fellow teammates. It's a half-hearted wall. It's delivered by Derrida deep towards the back stick. For a second there I thought it was going to go all the way in, but again Tom Wooster commands his box well to claim the ball under little pressure. And again West Ham deal with the danger well, and Anderlecht will be frustrated in the opening 25 minutes for all their possession. Haven't been able to create anything of any real note. Marug's able to see that back to goalkeeper Mecca Hantiens, and out wide now to Barry, just bowls it out the goalkeeper to the centre back, and we'll receive it back off him. West Ham are happy to just keep in that rigid structure that has served them so well in the opening 25 minutes here. Here's Derrida once again. That's a neat pass through now to Ngwando. Slips it in behind. Look for Onyeseke. So delivered in left-footed. Louis Brown able to control it. Had the freedom of the box just to control it. Really cool, calm and collected defending there. For potential chance. West Ham now have a chance to break with Cummings. Rides the challenge well. Cummings looks out wide to left-hand side. Anderlecht white shirts fighting back. Here's Hagen. Christian Field now. He plays it over to Rigg. Scanlon. Now Brown will feed it all the way back to Callum Leacock. Akpata. Strong spell possessionist for the Hammers, just being patient. Hagen managed to poke it over to Cummings now. Cummings trying to spin away from his marker. Here's Akpata, got the assist for the opening goal. And Cummings goes all the way out to Batcham. West Ham have worked it from right to left to right, sorry, really well. Here's Medin. Back to experienced Ryan Batcham. Anderlecht looking to win the ball back now. Again, this came from another set piece for Anderlecht. It's launched clear by Wooster, looking for Cummings. One by Ronlinks. Poor clearance though, manages to bounce back to Barry. Now here's Derrida looking to spin away from Hagen. Does really well to get past Hagen and Beckford and play out wide to Marug. Back to Derrida. And the players just, every time they pick up possession, they're looking for Derrida, looking for that creative spark. Onyeseke looking in behind. It's a searching ball with really good defending there just to put off the attacker. It's picked up now again with Akpatu. He's able to turn and play out wide to the left hand side to Scanlon and towards Harger. He opts to go back to Brown, who now will look in behind once again for Beckford. He's been everywhere in the opening 26 minutes here. Beckford is being followed attentively by DaCosta. Overlapping run, it's delivered, it's blocked and then hacked clear by Ngwanda. But another 4-4 from West Ham, looking for it to double their lead here. Not having too much possession, but are creating ample opportunities to score goals here. It's going to be a throw-in for Louis Brown. He'll look long, so lofty and loopy throw-in, looking for Cummings. So he kept in by Rigg by the corner flag, up against Ronlinks, who's done really well to win the ball back and then clear it long. Picked up once again by Derrida. Again, managed to get out wide to the courts. That's a foul over there. Just a bit too eager to win the ball back there. Or Scanlon. And that'll be a free kick to Anderlecht. So it's West Ham still leading here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. 28 minutes gone. That Dan Cummins' fine finish roughly 10 minutes ago is a difference right now between West Ham and Belgium outfit Anderlecht, who need all 3 points if they're going to qualify for the quarter-final stage of the Premier League International Cup. Another good bit of pressure there from Rigg, forces it out for an Anderlecht throw-in. I think before the game West Ham knew they probably wouldn't have too much possession, but the way they've set up has lended themselves to winning the ball back quickly and turning the ball over, making themselves a nuisance for the opposition. Hagen helps it on. It's now forward out to the right hand side. Chance for Anderlecht to break here with Onyeseke. Onyeseke trying to play across the boxes. One by Beth. Oh, it's a chance there for Anderlecht. Not the best touch in there by Medine. And it dropped to Pape Ndao, who's hardly been involved in the games. Cross from the right. Medine got that clearance all wrong, but equally Pape Ndao snatched at the chance. And that's a shot of a player who hasn't seen the ball at all this evening. And within opening half an hour, just snatching at the chance to equalise for the Belgians. Launched forward once again, cleared well, and out of play for a West Ham throw-in. And they'll be frustrated that Ndao snatched that chance. Like I said, didn't capitalise on the mistake there from Medine. Forward looking for Medine once again. He spins away well, managed to work it towards Cummins, the goal scorer. His touch is heavy though, it allows Derrida to pick up the pieces and force it back to his goalkeeper. Now back to Derrida, able to turn. Cummins gets back up off the turf and applies a press, but Derrida once again, silky midfielder, gets away. Here's Ngwanda. Rake it outside looking for Ronlinks. Back to Ngwanda. Anderlecht skipper. Spreads out wide looking for Marouk, who now will clip a ball in behind looking for Ndao. And Ndao trying to deal with a bouncing ball, is busting away. And it's a great save there from Tom Wooster. Minutes after snatching at a chance, and Ndao made an absolute nuisance of himself there, breaking in behind the defence. He was up against Callum Leacock there. He was trying to win the ball back, but Ndao, so powerful, just overpowered him. And his shot, fortunately, it was great positioning from Wooster to make sure the West Ham goal and West Ham clean sheet stays intact. It will be a third Anderlecht corner of the game. Potentially another routine between Marouk and DeCourte. It is short to DeCourte. DeCourte will be able to deliver, clips it towards the back stick. And it's hacked and completely missed that there by Anthony DeCosta, I should say, and out of play. But a chance there for Anderlecht once again, just growing into this contest. 3 big chances in the last 3 or 4 minutes or so. 2 falling to Pape Ndao, and then that one to Anthony DeCosta, who just completely took his eye off it. Just breaking players. We wait for, I believe that's Batram to do his laces. It's actually Dan Cummins who's doing his laces. Just referee give an opportunity to make sure he doesn't trip over. Brief bit of respite for West Ham to catch their breath after 3 or 4 minute spell where their goal looked under threat. Restart now with a throw in towards Medine, intercepted well by Marouk, but it's back to Batram, who launched it clear. Cummings The second time Raskin gets his header towards Beckford. It's a little bit sloppy in there. He's going to drop down to Beckford. He's the first outfield player for West Ham. He'll play it out wide to Scanlon. Back to Beckford. Inadvertently manages to get it out while tries to get it out to Patter. The referee calls it back after Derrida wasn't Derrida actually, it was in fact Jadon Onyeseke. He was trying to win the ball back desperately there, but the referee deemed just a bit too overzealous in the challenge. Free kick though is played back to a chance here for West Ham. It's another defensive error. It's off the post, and Scanlon there denied by the woodwork. It would have been a second goal of the game for West Ham. Another defensive error there. Sloppy play from Vronniks, who was just playing with fire inside his own box, presented the ball to Scanlon, who did really well to create the angle to get it past the goalkeeper, but denied by the foot of the post. Anderlecht and West Ham really should be 2 goals to the good. It's now back with Batra. This game's really come alive in the last 5 minutes or so. 3 or 4 chances for Anderlecht and then a glorious opportunity there for the Hammers. Dean tries to find Beckford, but the pass just evades him. Now on field to Derrida, looking behind once again. He left for Marug. There's a chance to deliver. Medin's tracking him attentively. Marug going to try and bypass him. A few step overs, clips towards the back stick. Clear well by Louis Brown and then hacked clear. No Anderlecht players on the edge of the box looking to get in. And Cummins again making an absolute nuisance of himself up against Anthony DaCosta, and he's still got the ball. That's great centre forward plays. DaCosta slips. Cummins allowed to play out wide to Beckford. West Ham come forward again. Beckford tries to find that pattern. Gets through a pass for Derrida. Chance to shoot now for Rigg to shoot. That one's gathered there by Hantiens. Really confident play from Darren, just to dummy the shot onto his left foot. Didn't quite catch it as swiftly as he would have liked. Just looking back at an earlier chance here for the Hammers. Vronniks again, just trying to play it wide. It's a great press on West Ham, and Scanlon managed to get by past the goalkeeper, who came flying in trying to put him off. Great bit of composure. But then with Anderlecht play on the goal line, Scanlon just tried to pick out the corner, and an accurate shot that bounced off the post. So just past the half-hour mark, West Ham still have the lead and will be considering themselves slightly unlucky not to be 2 goals to the good, despite Anderlecht's dominance in possession. Here's Derrida once again, rakes it out wide. Great show of vision to find number 71 in Gwanda, who looks to play it in behind, but the miscommunication there in the Anderlecht ranks. And Batcham's going to see this out of play for a throw right by the corner flag. Again, every time the ball goes out of play, West Ham able just to slow proceedings down at their own pace. Exactly, they got Anderlecht exactly where they would have wanted them this evening. A goal, a lead to protect. Back to Batcham in a tight spot, managed to launch it long, looking for Cummins, and once again is bouncing off to Antwi. And it's not a free kick for the referee. Again, it's just 2 strong players looking just to compete for the ball, and that's how the referee's wave play on. It's now up to the right hand side with Anderlecht. Has looked to press forward once again. Here's Derrida once again. Space and time to pick out his skipper in Gwanda. Receives it back off number 71 of Anderlecht. Just biding their time, the Anderlecht midfield. Here's Marug now. Already delivered a few dangerous crosses in the opening 35 minutes. It's now back with Gwanda. Here's Derrida. Sweeps out wide for Vronniks, who was at fault for that earlier West Ham chance. Looking to receive it on the overlap. It's a good defender there from Scanlon to make sure the cross doesn't go in. He's forced him towards the byline. Scanlon's going to be able to pass it over to Brown, who's able to clear with his left foot. But Anderlecht will build again. Derrida trying to bounce away, but it's picked up by Akpata. Just a sensible thing, goes back to goalkeeper Hantiens. Wooster, I should say, for West Ham. Hantiens, of course, in the other net. Wooster launched it forward, but it's won by an Anderlecht shirt. Brown, for to Beckford, trying to spin it around the corner first time for Rigg, but a neat idea, but didn't quite have the execution. Anderlecht able to get it back to goalkeeper Hantiens. And just look to build once again. Here's Barry. Back towards goalkeeper Michael Hantiens. Of course, back in action, West Ham U21s this Friday, 13th of February, home to Leicester in the Premier League 2 at the Rush Green Stadium. Quick turnaround there. Hantiens out to left-hand side. Looking for Anthony DaCosta. He's out here with Devon DeCourte, just swap wings. He was starting on the right flank, now over to the left. It's been an isolated figure along with Pape and Dow in the opening 37 minutes. Rongnick looks to find Ngwanda, but again Beckford picks it up, looks for Cummings, lays it off for Rigg. Here's now Hagen, gets away from the challenge, delivered towards the back stick, looking for Beckford, but unfortunately evades his head and also evades the head of Amin Maroug, and it's out of play and out of harm's way for an Anderlecht goal kick. Chance there again to deliver towards the back stick when West Ham do win the ball back, and now just a break in play as Cummings has gone down, just clutching that his left leg. Not sure what's the issue here. He's been through the wars all evening, battling and trying to be that focal point for the Hammers, and they will receive some medical attention now. Hagen just checking on his teammate, just seeing what the root of the problem is. Now we'll receive some medical attention from the West Ham physio. So just looking back at that chance again, clipped towards the back stick. It was disappointing that they couldn't find, but not really too sure where that injury has arose from for Dan Cummings. Just in deep conversation with the physio. He'll want nothing more but to continue. Had a really bright start to the game, and of course scored a fantastic goal. Potentially some movement on the West Ham bench, but right now no substitute looks forthcoming, just receiving some fluids as his teammates. And with 6 or 7 minutes to go until the break, the hosts will be looking to go into the interval with their lead intact. Cummings is to his feet now, which is a very positive sign. Still in discussion with the physio. Again, we're not really too sure where this injury may have come from. Doesn't look anything too sinister, potentially a muscular issue, but he's able to walk fairly comfortably, just breaking into a light jog, just testing things out. He was clutching his left leg. The West Ham goal scorer, I think, will be able to continue here, which is a positive sign because he has been absolutely phenomenal in the opening 39 minutes. Of course, scored that fantastic opening goal, left-footed strike. That's a really good play from Tariq Kapata to win the ball back. So we're going to restart with a drop ball, drop to the feet of Hantiens. Now here with Maroug. So West Ham temporarily down to 10. As they wait Cummings to come back on. Derrida switches it out to the right hand side. Now Anderlecht come forward again, cross towards the back stick, bounces off Scanlon, kept in play by Brown, who hacks it clear down the line. Anderlecht looking to recycle things. Barry's going to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. He's had by far the most touches of any player on the pitch this evening. Here's Maroug, the left back for Anderlecht. Again, Anderlecht now need 2 goals at least if they're going to progress into the quarter-final stage of the Premier League International Cup. Again, caught in possession there was Ngwanda by Beckford. So tenacious in that midfield. Here's Lewis Beckford, won the ball back on several occasions so far. Anderlecht again just about get away with it. It's down the line, intercepted well by Lewis Brown. A cheap turnover possession there from Anderlecht perspective. Here they come forward again with Scanlon, who hit the post 5 minutes ago. Scanlon stops his tracks. Rigg looking in field for Cummings, who's now back on the pitch on the edge of the box, looking to shoot again from a similar area to where he got that opening goal. But frustrated reaction there as it's gone comfortably high and wide, and it's going to be a goal kick to Anderlecht. But Cummings showed how dangerous he can be from that position early on in the contest. Just got that shot all wrong, couldn't get the proper purchase on it, and it's comfortably over the crossbar. And Anderlecht able to build again from the back. Cummings has looked to have shaken off another cheap turnover. Beckford's won it back, and now here's Hagen. West Ham have players forward here. Hagen pokes it over to Rigg on the edge of the box. Dan Rigg pokes it back towards Cummings, who shoots. Excellent volley there and parried away by Michael Hantiens. Cummings has been all over this Anderlecht defence so far. Another sloppy pass. Beckford again at the heart of everything good for West Ham. Wins the ball back. Hagen, neat play to Rigg. He looked to tee up his strike partner. Maybe fouled in the process was Rigg, but it's a corner. It's been taken quickly. Rigg, back to Medine. Cross towards the back stick. So audacious flick there. And dangerous defending But good defending in the end by Barry, just to touch it and chest it down to his goalkeeper. So fantastic distribution for the goalkeeper. Now Anderlecht have a chance. 24 and Dow reached this. Really good sweeping from Tom Wooster to ensure that Pape and Dow didn't reach a pass, which I don't think was intended for him initially. But the imposing striker looked interested. Just going back to that volley. Fantastic volley there from Dan Cummins. Could have been on a hat-trick already this game. Caught it really sweetly. But this time he was thwarted by Michael Hantiens. We'll have an Anderlecht free kick now as Akpata is penalised. Here's De Ridder. Not long now until the break. Anderlecht will be desperate to at least restore parity before the break after finding themselves a goal behind. Initially started well, but in possession they've been sloppy. And once again, here's Akpata, who's picking the ball up, reading it well, trying to release Cummings. But this time Anderlecht shirt just about gets that. Akpata trying to pick up the pieces. Cleared well by Barry. Kept in play by Eddie Rio. But again, another. It's so sloppy in there, but it's come away now as Anderlecht who look to break from the back. Here's the Corte. Lays it off to Maroug. Anderlecht gain some territory here. Here's the Corte over from the right flank all the way over to the left hand side. Looks to clip one in behind, looking for Endow once again. Has he broken off side trap? He hasn't. And again, the flag has gone up for the fourth time, the fourth offside infringement for Anderlecht this evening. Just haven't timed their runs as well as they would have liked to. There's another chance for West Ham to slow play down with Tom Wooster with a free kick inside his penalty box. So 2.5 minutes left of the first half. Tom Wooster just checking the ball is inflated properly. Wooster, deep, sharp intake of breath. Of course, West Ham players pushing forward. This time it doesn't reach the head of Cummins despite his jump, but Batcham has picked up the loose ball. Back to wide towards Medine. A heavy touch allows Maroug to win back possession. Neat bit of footwork to sidestep away from Harden, but Medine as well to help his team out and play down the line towards Beckford. Beckford on the right, looking to create some magic. Beckford onto his left foot, onto his right, twisting away from De Ridder. De Ridder, I think, has just done enough he has to get away with the ball. Had to be so careful there with any mistimed challenge there would have resulted in a West Ham penalty. And now bullied off it and West Ham come forward again with Medine. Hagen. And back in a defensive shape quickly. Batcham out wide, in field, sorry, to Leacock in his own centre circle. Now West Ham have time just to pick their pass astutely. Brown. Rigg dropping deep to receive it, looking forward to Cummins, but this time it's intercepted. A loose ball that might turn into a pass from Dow, again making such a nuisance of himself up against three West Ham players, and Dow still goes. Wooster comes out of his goal and sees it out for a corner, but Pape and Dow is such a handful. An absolute nothing ball up against Batcham, Brown and Leacock. Bit of a mix up there between Brown and Leacock. Allowed Dow to bear down on goal, but on the stretch couldn't quite connect sweetly, and we'll see another Anderlecht set piece. Another corner for Devon de Corte. We saw them play a short corner routine earlier on. This time there's no option short, so it looks to be delivered as they look to equalise just before the break. This will be an opportune time for the Belgian side to equalise. De Corte raises both arms in the air and will deliver right-footed towards that near post. Swiped at by a white shirt, but hacked clear once again by a carrot and blue shirt. And Vronix will look to start again all the way back to Hantiens. Interested to see the fourth official, how much added time there is. As we're on the 45th minutes. I believe it was 2 added minutes. Now it's back. De Costa sweeps it quickly. And looking to mount an attack just before the break. Vronix. Rigg. Just can't stop in his tracks. Vronix gaining over 20 yards. Lays it off now to Eddie Rio, but once again looking straight along the line and let to caught offside. That's becoming a bit of a frustrating pattern for the Belgium outfit this evening. Has stopped any promising attacks from really materialising. West Ham definitely would be happy, the two teams going into the break, with that 1 goal advantage. Could have been 2, could have been 3. Of course, hitting the woodwork as well was Scanlon after going around the goalkeeper. And let's have had their chances, but probably not as many as they would have liked to create it, considering the amount of possession they have. It's Tom Wooster to take this free kick. He'll launch it long. It's won by a claret and blue shirt, but can't make it stick, and it's forward again, looking directly for the striker, Dow. Tom Wooster sweeps well and uses his head. For a second there, he would have been worried, but he's kept a cool head to use his head to evade the danger. It's now back with the West Ham number 1. He'll launch it clear with his right foot towards, looking for Medine, but it's brought down by Maroug, but under a lot of time has turned over possession once again. Beckford competing, one back by Ngwanda. Works all back to the goalkeeper. Beckford again applying the press, and just trying to play out for the back. De Ridder will now opt to launch it long towards the right hand side. In a second, coming up against Brown, and it will come forward. It's a good advantage from the referee. Patter then is penalised, and we'll see a free kick, and this will surely be the last action of the game, of the half, sorry. And Akpata is the first player to be booked this evening. Just coming together there between Brown and Onyeseke, and as Decorte tried to create an opportunity to shoot, it was hauled down by Akpata, and about 25 yards out. And let's have a chance now to equalise. Akpata, of course, their first player to be yellow carded this evening. He's still making his case that it wasn't a foul or a yellow card, but the decision has been made, and now Devon Decourt is standing over this alongside De Ridder, Alexander De Ridder. So it's going to be the left foot of De Ridder or the right foot of Decorte. This will make goalkeeper Tom Wooster potentially be caught in two minds as to where to position his wall. 5 players in the wall for the hosts. And now Anderlecht have a chance. De Ridder leaves it for Decourt over the wall, but also over the crossbar. And that is the half-time whistle. It's half-time here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. It's West Ham United 1, Anderlecht 0. That fantastic goal from Dan Cummins from distance is currently the difference. Akpata is still making his case to the referee. But it is half-time here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. West Ham United 1, Anderlecht 0. Good evening and welcome back to the Chigwell Construction Stadium here. It's a Premier League International Cup match between West Ham United and Anderlecht, and at the break, heading into the second half, West Ham currently lead by 1-0, courtesy of that fantastic finish from Dan Cummins in the 18th minute. Great play from Taran Akpata to assist him, and then trying his luck from over the box. This is the 4th and final match of West Ham's 25-26 Premier League International Cup campaign. 3 defeats so far to Athletic Bilbao, and a narrow defeats here against Borussia Dortmund and Sporting Lisbon. But with 45 minutes approximately to go, they do have a slim advantage to hold on to and protect. Anderlecht with it all to do in the second 45. A reminder that the Belgian side need all 3 points if they're going to advance into the quarter-final stage. A point won't do. It looks to be a potential substitution at the break. Full officials' board is lighting up. We'll wait to see who that substitution is for and who is actually coming in and coming off. I think it's going to be a West Ham change. I saw the number 11, and Anderlecht don't have number 11 in their squad. And it's Rayan Oyebade is out there and ready to come on, the number 15. So Rayan Oyebade is coming on, and coming off is number 5, Ryan Batram. So 1 change at the break for the hosts. Like for like change in there. West Ham players just keeping warm and breaking out from the huddles. They love to do. It'll be Anderlecht to start things off in the second 45, with Devon Decorte standing over the ball. Big 45 minutes ahead for the Belgian side. Of course, West Ham, nothing really to play for in this competition but pride, and right now they're making the fans and management very proud. Trying to break through straight away as Anderlecht, and Medine trying to keep that out in play. It's one back by Da Costa. crowded out there by Claret and blue shirts, and then Beckford does really well to bounce it off an Anderlecht shirt. Out of play for West Ham throw-in. So just a reminder of that sub, it was Ryan Batcham coming off, making way for Ryan Oyebade. Throwing now down the line, again forward towards the goal scorer Cummings, intercepted in there. And it's picked up by Rigg, trying to poke it through. It's now going to work out to left hand side to Joe Scanlon, who hit the post in the first half, was desperately unlucky. It's back now to Brown. Brown infield to Akpata, trying to fight back to Brown, who has to just force it back to Scanlon. Now here's Rigg. Good strong start to the second half this for West Ham. Infield is Brown, who stayed forward. His pathway is blocked, picked up again by Rigg, and now back to the first touch for Ryan Oyebade. Forward by Leacock. Now it's worked out to Medine, just gets the better of himself there. Bounce off both feet and out of play for an Anderlecht throw-in. That will be taken by Amin Maroug. So Anderlecht, one goal won't do, a point won't do for them as it's forced back to the goalkeeper Mikkel Hantiens and launched clear. They need at least 2 goals here. It's picked up by Pata, and here come West Ham again with Cummings. This time it's good defending from the Anderlecht centre-back to make sure Cummings doesn't get a shot off. Cummings has gone down, has hit the turf. Looks to be in a spot of bother here. Received some treatment early on, or later on, sorry, in the first half. Been through the wars all evening. Again, it's Akpata at the heart of everything good for West Ham. Tenacious play to take the ball in his stride and create a chance out of nothing. So West Ham throw, which Scanlon will take. The rain is now really coming down here in East London at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Scanlon, looping ball, looking for Cummings, who chests it down well. Akpata looking to pick up the loose ball. He did touch it, but it's bounced off a white shirt, and now Derrida looks to clear it long. Bounces off the forehead of Taran Akpata. Now play for Anderlecht throwing. Big team talk at half time for the Belgian side. He's trying to break into that quarter-finals. Only the top 2 from Group D will go through. So far, Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund occupy those 2 spots. If Anderlecht win, Manchester United will fall out of that top 2. It's forward now by Derrida, who look to switch play out to the right-hand side. Looking for Jaden Onyeseke. It's now in field. Work from right to left. Now Maroug shoots up from the back. That's a really good save there from Tom Wooster, covering that near post. It was decisive play, a really good flick in there from Endow. Then Eddie Rio thread it through to the left back Maroug. To struck goalward. It was really, really good save by Wooster just to cover that near post. And early on to the second period, Anderlecht have another corner, their 7th of the game. It's going to be taken out by Devon DeCourte, a right-footed in-swinger, different sort of angle, trying to cause issues. Again, it's cleared by West Ham, drops to the edge of the box. That's a poor header as they look to recycle. And Riggs picked this up and looking to dance away from a few white shirts. Lays it back to Medine, who clear it long, anywhere will do. And it escapes Beckford and picked up by Hansians. We saw so frequently in the first half, loves to just control things and not afraid to break out from the back. Derrida, great technique on that switch of play over to Eddie Rio. Infield now looking for Maroug, who's infield. Anderlecht looking to equalise straight away. It's now dropped to infield. Is that going to go in? It's not. It's cleared off the line by Scanlon. And the flag has gone up for offside anyway, but Scanlon wasn't to know, and that's really good defending. Just that chance again by Maroug a few minutes ago. Saved by the goalkeeper. And Tom Wooster actually might need some treatment here. Just gone down clutching his left shoulder. But another chance for Anderlecht there. Really good play from Maroug. Laid it off. And it was worked towards number 76 of Anderlecht and cleared off the line by Scanlon. I believe that's actually a change for Anderlecht. Terry van der Ven has come on for the second half. So Tom Wooster just testing out that left arm. Maybe he sustained that injury, potentially in a save he made from Maroug's shots. But 5 minutes gone in the second period, Anderlecht looking to equalise quickly. The longer West Ham have this advantage, the more nervous Anderlecht will get that their race will be run in the Premier League International Cup. Wooster looks okay to continue. after receiving some medical attention, and it'll be a goal kick or free kick to West Ham, which is virtually a goal kick. Of course, on that offside offence, that Scanlon cleared off the line. Van de Ven was lurking in there. Just clattered into the goalkeeper, who now looks long. It was okay to continue. One in the air, flicked on by Van de Ven. Brown managed to get there first and hook it clear of his head. Cummings had acres of space there, but tried to go for the header, missed it completely. There's a bit of head tennis going on. Now it's Cummings, touched it down. Rigg trying to spin away, but he's dispossessed, now worked out wide. But really good defending from Louis Brown to halt him in his tracks. Anderlecht in a rush to get things back underway. Here's De Ridder once again. Onyeseke has been so bright down the right hand side, looking to pierce it through towards Van de Ven, the substitutes. He's been forced wide. Onyeseke has a chance to cross first time, blocked by Scanlon, picked up by Rigg. Akpata trying to feed it through to Rigg, trying to play out from the back is West Ham, but Akpata senses the danger and then clears long. Anderlecht now with Maroug, look to get things back underway. Beckford, great press to put the left back under duress. And West Ham actually want to throw in here, really good pressure. Beckford's actually going to leave this former D. So change for either side at the break, with Van de Ven coming on, the number 76. Just trying to introduce another focal point up there alongside Pape and Dow, who has been such a handful for Hammer's defence in the first half. Down the line, Cummings appeals that he was fouled there, but nothing doing from the officials, and Anderlecht have a chance to clear with Barry. Great pass looking for Van de Ven, flicks away Onyeseke, he's drifted in field, now out to the left hand side. Corte across the box, Brown just dust enough, drops of Ronix, and that's comfortably over the crossbar, but it dropped to him, and just for a second the game opened up for Ronix to have a shot on goal. It was the Corte on the right hand side. Brown couldn't quite sort his feet out, sat up nicely, really nicely for Basil Ronix, but couldn't keep his shot down, and Tom Wilson will have another chance to launch it long from this goal kick. Certainly Anderlecht have started the second 45 in control, as you imagine they would, falling behind Dan Cummings' fantastic finish in the first half. Russo, fantastic flick on from Cummings. Riggs now has an interest up against Barry, and the Anderlecht defenders have done just enough to see it out for a throw in. He's left it for Basil Ronix. The rain is really coming down. The ball started to zip off the surface. Is that going to play a factor as we approach the second half and approach the end of this game? The end of the campaign for both sides potentially, if Anderlecht can't find 2 goals at least. It's another throw-in for Basil Ronix to take. In towards Mahoog, who came all the way over from that left-hand side to create an option. It's worked back to Hantiens. Now infield looking for De Ridder's really neat drop of the shoulder to try and spin away from Cummings. Really good attentive press from West Ham, making sure Anderlecht don't have an easy route out. Hantiens across to his captain Nunzio Ngwanda. Back to Hantiens. Deciding when to press is an interesting choice for West Ham, opting sometimes to engage and other times they're sitting off, but right now they're getting the balance just right. As Hansen said it just again, and Anderlecht being patient in their play and force long towards the right hand side, looking for Onyeseke. Scanlon's applying the pressure, wants a free kick, nothing doing, and West Ham a chance to go forward now with that patter. Neat incisive play, looking for Beckford, but just about read there by the Anderlecht defence. Hack clear, Akpata closing it down again. That's going to be outplayed for Anderlecht throw-in. But you see Akpata every time he picks it up in the centre of the park, the game just comes alive, and likes of Rigg and Cummings know that they're going to make these decisive runs, and it's likely that Akpata's going to find them. It's a neat pass by Ronix. Now back with Onyeseke. Infield to De Corte, who's been all over the pitch in the opening exchanges. Anthony Da Costa out wide to Dwight Eddie-Orio. He's dispossessed, and Da Costa's rash clearance bounces off Beckford, just about gets away with that. It's actually bounced to his goalkeeper, Mikkel Hantiens. Now it's Devin Da Corte, dropped so deep to receive the ball. Deepest outfield player there, midfielder. out wide to Basil Vronic, who looks up, has time to play it forward towards Van der Ven. Picked up by the West Ham once again, but again the clearance is to their Belgian opposition. Anderlecht just grow into the game. Loose pass there for De Ridder, slightly fortuitously. Bounces back to Basil Vronic. Now, back with Kees Barry. Plays it to Antwi de Costa. Anderlecht player has gone down that far side, but now to his feet and is hobbling. Anderlecht deciding to play on his Eddie Onyeseke. Vronic's on the overlap, clips towards the back stick of Van der Ven. And it's a great save by Wooster. Chance still alive. And Marou's gone down and is not given a penalty there. It's actually given penalised Amin Marou for simulation. It's worked out to the right hand side. Searching cross from Vronic to the right back. It's one in the air actually there by Pape and Dow. And as Marou tried to shoot, it was Callum Leacock who was engaging, but really good defending from the central defender to not leave a stray leg in there. And it's resulted in Marou being given a yellow card and hasn't had too many complaints on that decision, I mean Marou, which should suggest means the referee's made the right call there. And we'll restart with a free kick. We're going to see another substitution now for Anderlecht. A second change of the contest. After 10 or so minutes second period, they decided that a bit more impetus needs to be injected. It will be Gassimo Silla who is entering the fray. Actually, it won't be. It'll be Dwight Eddie Rio who's coming off. Actually, it is Gassimo Silla who's coming on. Second change for the Belgian side. Dwight Eddie Rio's race is run. And now a chance for Gassimo Silla for the remaining time, which is comfortably over half an hour, to make an impact and be Anderlecht's hero as they look to preserve their Premier League International Cup status. Worcester goes long, looking for Cummings, but it's going to drop to Basil Vronic, racing down that right hand side, open up those legs and play it forward, looking for Terry Van der Ven, who's quick, but he's not that quick, and Worcester's come out his goal well, cleared it long, not the best of clearances, flicked on by Scanlon, picked up again by Onyeseke. Bundled into by Rigg, and that will be a free kick to Anderlecht. Rigg certainly disagrees with that. He's actually given it the other way, actually. So initially you thought the referee gave a Anderlecht free kick, but instead the referee now points the opposite direction. Potentially a handball offence in there as Rigg who bundled into Onyeseke. But Onyeseke was the guilty party there. Another free kick for West Ham, this time be Louis Brown who winds up a long clearance. Again looking for Cummins, controlled well but drops now to Dan Rigg, who's back involved after winning that foul. Rigg lays it off to Scanlon, who's trying to get towards the byline, stopped in his tracks by Vronic, who keeps it in play out for a corner. Now it's somehow been caught by the goalkeeper there. Vronic's off the claret and blue shirt. Anderlecht a few times in this game just fallen foul of playing with danger inside their defensive half. Presented West Ham with a few chances. In the opening 15 minutes of the second half they've been slightly better. Have definitely dominated possession. Really good neat drop of the shoulder from Amin Marou, who is on a yellow card for simulation to get away from his marker. It's dropped at the feet of the substitute Silla. West Ham now prepare a triple change off the bench. We'll have a confirmation of those three changes in due course. Medine was definitely one of the players that was preparing to come on. Anderlecht will want to try and make sure they're level before those substitutes are introduced. It's now with Marou, cross it across the box, but can't pick out a white shirt in the middle, and it's collected once again by Tom Wooster with ease. A really good game so far, Tom Wooster made a few really important saves. And as we approach the hot hour mark, the clean sheet still intact. His goal kick is long towards the head of Cummings, who looks to flick it on, but no claret and blue shirt is making that run in behind, and it's fallen back to the Belgians, who are just coming forward in swathes now. Marou puts it down the line, looking for forward, and it's kept in play by the corner flag, but attentive defender there by Callum Leacock just to see it out play for a throw-in. Anderlecht getting the ball back in play almost immediately. Maroug trying to get away from Beckford. Crowded out by Beckford and Cummins, and now who's fouled there by Maroug, by Beckford even. And it's a free kick to Anderlecht in a really promising position for them. See Beckford there just putting out a stray leg, which Maroug fell over, and once again Anderlecht have a chance to deliver. And once again it's De Ridder and De Corte who are in conversation about who to take this. It probably favours the right foot of Alexander De Ridder. Another two-man wall for West Ham. Rigg, one of the players in that wall. It's going to be left for De Ridder. It's one of those crosses where Tom Wooster will have to make sure he pays attention, because it's one of those free kicks that can go all the way in if not defended properly. Here's De Ridder. He's lofted it in towards the near post. It's bounced off the back stanchion, I think. And it's number 57, the substitute, I think it was Silla, who's come on and made a bit of an impact for the Belgian side. Leapt well, got it above. Another substitute. And now we will see those three substitutes for West Ham. So all officials going to be nice and busy here for the next minute or so. Jeffter Medine is the first player that will make way. I think he's making way for his brother. He is Jeffro Medine. So one of the Medine brothers will stay on the pitch as Jeffro Medine enters the fray in place of Jeffter. Now going to see those other two changes. Dan Rigg is jogging over to the touchline. His after evening's work may be completed. A strong hour or so display from the number 10 of West Ham. And he is coming off for number 9. Or Josh Landers, in fact, is coming on. Dan Cummins was the name on the board. So Dan Cummins, currently, his goal is the difference here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Fantastic goal from distance. And Josh Landers replaces him. So a completely different front two for the Hammers for the final half hour or so of this match. And Landers will be wanting to make an impact. The other player that came on was Preston Fearon, so just confirmation of those three changes. Coming on is Josh Landers, Preston Fearon and Jeffrey Medine. Coming off was Jeffter Medine, Dan Cummins and Dan Rigg. Here come Anderlecht once again, but Tom Wooster commanding his box well. Opts to kick it in towards Riley Hagen, who controlled it well but couldn't get his pass forward correct. It's out of play for Anderlecht throwing, gives him back possession. Michael Hantians back to Da Costa. Josh Landers looking to use that energy off the bench to force them into mistake. Hantians, the goalkeeper, does go long. First long ball for Medine to deal with, up against Endow, who managed to turn away from Medine and feed it in towards the middle, but it's hacked clear by Louis Brown. Now Landers will chase this loose ball, just about does enough. The Anderlecht defender get away, but it's recycled well by number 4 Taranak Patter. Beckford been everywhere in this game. He lays it back far side. It's now in field to Preston Fearon. He's come on now. He's driving forward, looking for Landers, who will reach it. Landers who shoots. Great save. It's a combination actually of the defender and the goalkeeper. Just does enough. Two substitutes combined into great effect there. Preston Fearon, no white shirts were stopping him. He decided to poke it forward to Landers. It's a fantastic clearance in the end, or block I should say, from Antwi Da Costa. A timely intervention as Josh Landers almost scored within 2 or 3 minutes of entering the pitch. It's going to be another West Ham corner that Riley Hagen will take right-footed. Chance for the host to double their advantage here, as the rain is really coming down now in East London. Hagen will deliver. Look, dangerous looking ball cleared at the near post. It's going to drop to a white shirt, and Anderlecht looked to break potentially. Halted well there, but it's picked up by Maroug. He's forced back towards his own corner by Beckford and actually forced into an error. Heavy touch, forces it out of play for another throw-in. And Beckford's actually going to lead this for Medine. Jeffro Medine, that is, of course, not to be confused with his brother Jeffter Medine, who came off for him 2 or 3 minutes ago. So Medine takes short to Beckford, receives it back off the number 7. Now looking to create an angle to cross it in. He does deliver, blocked well by Maroug, and out of play for another West Ham throw-in right by that corner flag in that far corner. Just trying to get the ball back is Medine. And then looking for options. That pass is now creating option short. Medine will actually launch this towards the middle, looking for Landers, who's held us up well, laid it off for Akpata, who's trying to work out an angle to shoot. Hagen, Fearon, trying to slip it into Scanlon, well dealt with there by Vronninks. And hack clear, picked up by Brown. West Ham just dominating possession at the moment. It's a great searching ball, looking for Akpata, who bears down in goal, but the linesman flag is offside. Bit of afters there as Akpata looked to try and take it round the goalkeeper, and I think the goalkeeper, Han Tien's there, not happy with delaying the restart. For a second out, Akpata looked like he was through on goal, but had just strayed offside. I think Akpata's going to join the referee's book here, or at least have a talking to. Stern talking to, but we'll just about get away with it. So Torrent Akpata escapes the yellow card, and we'll restart with a free kick to Anderlecht. We're midway through the second period now, and 3/4 through the game. It is still West Ham 1, Anderlecht 0, courtesy of that Dan Collins fine finish in the first period. A win for West Ham, of course, will take them off the foot of the table above Athletic Bilbao if they get one more goal. Medine trying to get away from danger. There's 3 white shirts surrounding him. Medine's done just enough to make sure the break doesn't happen, but is out of play for Anderlecht thrown, which is taken now towards the Ridder. Here's De Korte now. Out wide to, but trying to play it back and forth to De Korte, but picked up by Akpata once again. Reads play well. Now is Vronninks. Space opens up from to shoot. He opts to play out wide. Tonyaseke is towards the back stick, but he gets that cross all wrong. A few frustrating cries from his teammates. Couldn't pick out a white shirt in the middle, much to the delight of the West Ham defence. Another reprieve for the Hammers. Another change now. It's for Anderlecht. So Anthony Da Costa's the first man to make way, and he's replaced by Ludovic Waller. And we'll see another change. Maroug, of course, was booked earlier on for simulation. He's making way. So Maroug is definitely the one to make way. Just get confirmation of that sub in due course. But Ludovic Waller has definitely entered the fray. We'll restart with a free kick to West Ham. So Anderlecht have really rolled the dice. Made 4 subs now with Van der Ven, Waller, Silla. Melody also coming off the pitch, off the bench onto the pitch. So Anderlecht really trying to turn this scoreline around, because right now they're facing exit from this competition, the Premier League International Cup. Getting reminded they need 2 goals, they need a win, a point won't do. So it'll be no surprise in the last 20 minutes if the Belgian outfit start to commit players up from the back. So look to build up from the back once again now. Maroug, who just come off, has been replaced, but it's dispossessed well there. Here's that pattern now, spinning away in field. It's forced back. Toya Bade. Fearon lays it back to Akpata. Look forward towards Landers. Landers is bearing down in goal. Forced wide. Landers towards the middle. Looks to pick out a teammate, but he can't. Now's a chance for West Ham there to double their advantage. Landers initially did really well just to keep the ball, forced wide by the Anderlecht defence, and then picked his head up and unselfishly looked to tee up a teammate. Unfortunately for him, no player in claret and blue was lurking. And it's back now with Anderlecht. Heavy touch there, but just about gets away with it towards his goalkeeper. It's Kais Barry. Here's the Ridder, who hasn't seen as much possession in the second half, but he plays out wide to the left-hand side. Back now with the captain, Nzia Ngwanda. Now here's Barry. Putting time on the ball to look up. No options forthcoming. He goes back to Vronninks out on the right-hand side. Just a chop it onto his left foot. But really good defending there by Preston Fearon to make sure his path is blocked. Switch of play from Barry out to the left-hand side. Touch first time as Anderlecht to come forward once again. That's a great defending there. Fantastic defending by Cannon Leacock just to make sure Terry Van der Ven couldn't receive the ball. In fact, it was actually the substitute Babatunde Akamalede who was competing for it. Just really good defending. Get his body in the way and see it out for another goal kick. That type of defending, if that's continued, could see West Ham keep a clean sheet in this competition for the first time this season. course, already fallen to defeats to Dortmund, Sporting Lisbon and Athletic Bilbao, but this will be a really fine way to end the Premier League International Cup campaign with a 1-0 victory, or a victory against a strong Anderlecht side. Of course, Anderlecht's academy have produced such talents in the past. We could be seeing the next Belgian talent on the pitch tonight. Throw into Anderlecht, again we're in a hurry to get things underway. It's going to be a long throw down the line. White shirt goes down off the ball, but once again the referee is wave play on, and Tom Wooster slightly dramatically has claimed the ball, just indicating where he's going to kick this, and he does go towards the left hand side, but the misplaced pass there and a cheap turnover of possession there from Wooster, and let's have a chance once again to build up from the back with Hantiens. Anderson's coming on, has just replaced Cummings and offered that focal point which West Ham have utilised so well in this game so far. Of course, Cummings scoring the only goal of the game. Landers had a few chances just to add to his tally this season. There's Brown. There's a mix-up at the back. Wooster now, wow, just about gets away with it. West Ham. So Brown initially tried to touch it. I think the fact that Brown got a slight touch on it, Wooster wasn't sure whether he could collect it with his hands due to the fact it would have been a pass back. So he sort of hurriedly kicked it off Brown. I think actually been called back for an earlier offside infringement, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But heart in mouth moment there for Tom Wooster and Louis Brown there. Massive mix up at the back. Wooster ended up smashing against his own player, but it didn't go in, and it wouldn't have counted anyway. Wooster's able to launch it clear out to left hand side, looking for Landers, who leaps high but can't connect with it. Fronix being forced back by Fearon. Here's Barry. Good show of composure from the young centre half, and now Anderlecht look to build again. It's worked from right to left really sharply. Now it's here with one of the substitutes, Akamalady. Now here's De Ridder. Lovely switch of play, looking for Dow, and Dow shoots. It's a wild effort. It's actually stayed in play. Shot on targets end up going backwards somehow. Anderlecht still have a chance to push forward, but plenty of West Ham players appealing. Anderlecht's attacker strayed offside. Pape and Dow won't want to see that one back. Cut inside really sharply, but then a wild swing at his weak foot. Saw the ball travel backwards. Another offside infringement for the Belgium outfit. They've been guilty of just not looking across that line as attentively as they should have done. And I think that's a 6th or 7th at least offside infringement of the game. Something the manager will be bitterly disappointed with, and probably has really halted their momentum. As Tom Wooster now will have another free kick. Again, it will go long towards Landers. Can't win header this time, but it's launched forward by Riley Hagen. Fortunately can't find a West Ham shirt, and bowled out by Hantiens, looking to get his side forward straight away. Here's Ronnick, steps inside away from Scanlon. Scanlon does really well and times his challenge well, and here come West Ham again. Fear on him, he's closed down by De Ridder and kept in play there by Dow, who's playing off the right now. Back to De Ridder, trying to spin away from Preston Fearon, who pushes De Ridder off the ball. That would be a free kick, which Anderlecht in a hurry to take, but the referee is ordering it to be taken back to the position where it was the foul occurred. Preston Fearon, no malice in that challenge, just over eager, trying to win the ball back. Little push in the back on De Ridder. And restart with 15 minutes or so remaining of this game, plus stoppage time. Anderlecht still yet to breach Tom Wooster's net this evening. Referee just halting the game, restarting. Not happy with something on the other side of the pitch, but now play gets waved on. Breaking out to the back of Anderlecht once again. Defenders aren't shy and love to break forward. Here's here with De Court. The touch escapes him. Nadine tries to clear it back off court, but Nadine gets a second bite of the cherry and will clear along this time. Landers is now in a foot race, which he won't win. It's forced back, not the best of passes back to Hantiens. Anderlecht again love to play out the back. That comes with its own risk, but this time it's worked well. Here's De Court coming up from the back, plenty of space. He's going to play out wide to Ronnick's, pass slightly behind him, but he's able to get it into his stride. Drop of the shoulder and cross it in, punched away by Tom Wooster well. It's going to drop to De Ridder on the edge of the box, who's looking to control it. chance still alive for Anderlecht. Medine commits to the block. It's back now with Derrida, who'll try his luck. Blocked well by Beckford. Now play. West Ham evade danger smartly. Anderlecht just trying to turn that key and get back into this game. We're now going to see another change for the Hammers. And it's going to be Scanlon who's going to make way, and he's going to be replaced by Regan Clayton. So a 5th change for the hosts this evening. Regan Clayton replacing Joe Scanlon, who was unlucky to not get on the score sheet earlier on in the game. Of course, hit the post after Ronnix presented him with the ball. Rounded the goalkeeper, but couldn't quite squeeze it into the back of the net. His day is over, and he is replaced by Regan Clayton for the final 15 minutes or so. Anderlecht also preparing another change, but it's going to be a long throw. It's launching towards the box. Fantastic knock for that. Almost goes all the way in, which of course wouldn't have counted regardless, but that's one of the best throw-ins I've seen of the season. Over 50 or 60 metres that. Bounced inside the 6-yard box, almost to claims. West Ham come forward again, but Ronnix picks up the danger off Landers. Fira applying the press. Derrida, so loose pass. Landers can pick it up on the edge of the box. Here's Josh Landers, sidestep, trying to create an angle to shoot. He's going to leave it. Great shot by Hagen, and that is just wide of the mark. I think it's a fantastic. It's not a save actually. It's fantastic. It looked to be a fantastic save, but Hagen actually, I think he might have clipped the woodwork there. Landers did really well to tee up, left it for the midfielder who struck it so sweetly, and that's clipped the outside of the post. West Ham hit the woodwork for the 2nd time this evening. Riley Hagen didn't need a second invitation to hit that one. It's almost, the spin on the ball has actually seen it go away on off target. And the Hunters will be glad to see that ball go out. But here come West Ham again with fear on, look towards Landers, but this time it just has passed his right boot and now picked up by Hantians. So for all of Anderlecht's dominance in terms of possession, 3 greater chances of the games have fallen to the hosts, and I think they will it twice, of course scored. But here they come, Anderlecht, but great play again from Wooster to read that play, the sweeper keeper role. He's actually cleared that ball out of the stadium. I think we're going to see another throw-in, a long throw-in. Great show of athleticism. That was from number 72 of Anderlecht, Babatunde Akamalady, 2 or 3 minutes ago. Such a weapon. We've seen long throw being introduced back into modern football. De Corte is coming off, just waiting to see who is replacing him. So De Corte off, and Ajani Majangi is final change for Anderlecht. Just see in the background there Babatunde Akamalady just preparing to hit its long throw just in front of the Anderlecht dugouts. He's actually disguised it and played it short to substitute Ajani Majangi, who gets his first touch of the ball a lot earlier than he would have expected. Here's Barry. Back now with Ludovic Waller. Barry once again. Anderlecht still have players committed from the back for that long throw that wasn't. Here's Ronnix taking on substitute Regan Clayton, who is penalised there. Just about mistimed his challenge there as Ronnix skipped past him. It's a lazy leg from the youngster Regan Clayton, who looked bemused at the decision. I believe the linesman right far side helped out the referee. And this is a golden opportunity for Anderlecht to get back into this context. Alexander Derrida's already sent a few dangerous deliveries in towards the middle so far. It's only going to be a one-man wall. I think Preston Fearon is the lone individual looking to block the effort. Referee blows a whistle. Derrida in towards the middle. It's a fantastic ball in, and how has that not gone in? It was Terry van der Ven who had a free header at it, and from our angle that looked like it was going to the top corner. Fantastic delivery from Derrida, right-footed onto the head of van der Ven, who got away from his marker, and that's just past the post. Wooster, the coolest customer in the ground there, just watching it go by. No worries in the world. But he wouldn't have been sure that was actually not heading into the top corner. And that is by far Anderlecht's best chance to get back into this contest. Terry van der Ven will be wondering how he hasn't found a top corner there, just past the post. Anderlecht come forward again out to left-hand side. Over toward Jaden Onyeseke. Twisting inside and out, gets towards the byline, crossed it in. It's good defending there by Jeffro Medine. Out of play for another Anderlecht corner, another set piece. Onyeseke looking to take it, and the substitute Ajani Majangi looking to create option short. But both players are now walking away from it, leaving it for the usual set piece taker Alexander de Ridder. He actually will go short. It's delivered in by Onyeseke, looking for Barry, who does high foot towards it. Cleared well by West Ham head. Ronix looking to restart plays, forced Mujangi backwards. Wesker now all the way back to his goalkeeper. That's good defending from West Ham to force the opposition back from a defending corner. It's launched out to the right hand side, one in the air there by Regan Clayton. Beckford competing in the air, manages to get the ball to his feet, tries to clear it, it's blocked and actually stayed in play. Brown back to goalkeeper Wooster. Van der Ven closing down the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper just about manages to get it clear. Wooster. Akpata launches it clear. It's actually gone high, it's gone far. Beckford couldn't control it. It's all gone a bit messy as we approach the final. So we're entering the final 10 minutes now. Ronix. Anderlecht. Time is running out for the Belgian outfit. Minded they need 2 goals if they want to stay in this competition. Towards the byline by Onyeseke, he's closed down by Medine. Combination of Medine and Callum Leacock. It's out of play for another Anderlecht throw, and with the long throw prowess that we have seen already on display by Babatunde Akamalede, there's no surprises where this ball is heading, as he just tries to dry the ball on his shirts and his shorts. Not the longest of run-up available to him. The referee just spotted something that she's not happy with. And just having a word with Pape Aliendao and Regan Clayton. It's a tough task that for Clayton to try and stop the imposing figure from reaching the ball. We now will see this long throw by Babatunde Akamalede. It's so high into the air, causing havoc inside the West Ham box. It's allowed to bounce. Beckford tried to clear, cries for a penalty. Waved away by the referee and eventually had clear. Patter's now going to try and keep this in play along with Ronix, but they both won't get there. It's out of play for an Anderlecht throw in. For a second there, I thought that would have been a penalty for Anderlecht. It's launched clear to left hand side. Here come Anderlecht once again with just a shot in there from Jaden Onyeseke, but that isn't his best efforts. It's easy for Tom Wooster, who bows out early looking for Regan Clayton. He's got plenty of space on that left hand side and plenty of green to run into. Looks for Josh Landers over the top. Won by White Shirt, picked up by Beckford, but Anderlecht get a foot in with de Ridder. De Ridder, heavy touch there, allows Landers to sneak in and nip the ball off his toes. Here's Fearon now. Landers trying to create an option on the left hand side. Fearon looked infield and he's dispossessed by de Ridder. Now here come Anderlecht once again, look for a piercing ball in behind. Wooster once again, we've seen it so often, just ready to engage any pass that he feels he can gather, he will, and he's done so well at that. And if West Ham do end up keeping a clean sheet, they'll have their number one shot stopper to count on for that, as he's been so good at just evading any danger that's been going in behind. This will be another goal kick for West Ham. 6.5 minutes remaining plus stoppage time for Anderlecht, and they still have it all to do. They're facing a unexpected exit here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. Long by Wooster. Now it's dropped to the feet of Akpata. It's now picked up once again by Anderlecht with Endowed. It's bounced out of play for another Anderlecht throw, which Ronix will take. Hill tracking back. West Ham can clean on here. This would be a fantastic result, albeit an immaterial one, as they have already been knocked out and have already exited this competition. To pick up 3 defeats from 3, but this would be a really fine way to end a European campaign. Another throw in, and again it's been left for Babatunde Akamalede. Shorter run at this time, can't get as much distance on this throw in. It's going to drop back to his feet though. Another chance to deliver, this time with his feet. It's dropped to de Ridder, who lays it off infield, looking for Decorte, but still has it. Liver now in towards the box, cleared not once by twice. Now at Patter. Now West Ham a chance to break now with Preston Fearon. It's 2-on-1. Fearon bearing on and goal, lays it off for Josh Landers. Can he get a shot off? Landers bundled into there, and no penalty given. The ball still inside the Anderlecht box. Is picked up now by Beckford. Desperate defending Beckford shoots, blocked by Ronix. And an opportunity squandered there from the hosts, but they've won it back now with Fearon. Hagen out wide to Patter, and he'll go back and just retain possession now of Leacock. Jeffro Medine Forced back towards Leacock, who would now launch along, looking to the right hand side, looking for Akpata, who was trying to dart in behind, but the pass is inaccurate and drops at the feet of the Anderlecht goalkeeper as they look to come again with just 5 minutes remaining of this contest. De Ridder looks to rake out wide, well kept in play there by Onyeseke, who looks to come forward again, gets past Akpata, looking now to deliver inside the box, left foot is a decent looking cross and reaches Terry van der Ven. And once again, he can't quite hit the target. Another positive play on the flank by Onyeseke. It's a difficult chance to control there by Terry van der Ven, number 76 of Anderlecht. He just stuck a foot out. His connection sees it go comfortably over the crossbar. Another goal kick for Tom Wooster. Time is running out for Anderlecht. 4 minutes plus stoppage time, just slowing things down as in a situation where Wooster goes high into the East London sky, looking for the substitutes. It's forward now towards Fearon. Touchdown well by and the defender back now to the goalkeeper, launched long, but picked up there by Hagen, tries to cushion it over to Akpata. It's all a bit scrappy. As Regan Clayton's now tracking back, it's launched forward, won by Leacock and picked up by Hagen. It's been excellent in midfield for the hostess evening. He's crowded out though. Half handball, it's still going to be now with Anderlecht. It's all getting so scrappy in there as we approach the closing stages. Now works on White Onyeseke, who takes it first time, well parried. Is that going to end in another goal line clearance from West Ham? Their second of the game. Mix up at the back, and Louis Brown, the hero for West Ham, who was struck well by Onyeseke, came onto it first time, bounced off the surface, parried by Tom Wooster off Louis Brown, who's heroically cleared it off the line to prevent an own goal. And Anderlecht will now be thinking it probably isn't going to be their evening. So many chances to try and breach Tom Wooster's net, but through strong goalkeeping and resilient defending, their goal column still stays at 0 for this evening. It's going to be another West Ham throw-in. Despite having nothing to play for, West Ham of course have pride to play for, and they've put in a really proud performance which will make their fans and management very proud this evening, and especially if they can see this out in the final 2 minutes. Another long throw-in down the line, one in the air once again. So we drop potentially to Fearon, and it's hacked clear by the defence. It's just now Fearon might be in behind here. I think the flag has gone up. It has. I think Anderlecht will be trying to play the advantage off the offside decision, but now we'll get things back underway. And now here's Vronix. Basil Vronix drifting in field, a few step overs. Maybe a defender by trade, but he's got a few skills in his locker. And it's out wide to Jaden Onyeseke, who came closer, getting an equaliser 2 minutes ago. He gets towards the byline, flashes it across the box, can't connect to a teammate, so that's gone out of play for a goal kick. Jaden Onyeseke has certainly been the most dangerous player for the Belgian opposition, but its end product has lacked, unfortunately, for the Belgian outfit. Onyeseke, left-footed, not the worst cross in the world, but no one busting gut on that back stick to try and reach it. As we approach the final minutes of regulation time, West Ham look on their way to a really important victory. Might not mean anything in the context of this competition, but will give a great deal of confidence that they can beat strong European opposition. Forward by Hagen, looking for Landers once again, dealt with by Barry, all the way back to goalkeeper Michel Hanchens, and gets the game back underway as quickly as possible. Looking to break out from the back, it's past 2 or 3 players, but Nadine has nipped in well there. Beckford trying to get away from his marker, it's down the left hand side once again, cleared by Callum Leacock. And we'll just be awaiting additional time here as the clock ticks towards 90. There's going to be another opportunity for Babatunde Akumalede to launch a devastating long throw, some technique that I've never seen before. He's basically, the run up he needs is, I've seen him go 5 feet in towards the stand almost. It will be Babatunde Akamalady who will throw it long. It's a long throw. It's not quite got the direction necessary. And Akpata now will come away with a great show of composure. It's 2-on-2. Louis Brown has created an option up for the back. Akpata's forced wide by Derrida, then bundled over. Frustrating foul there from the Belgian midfielder, but fantastic play once again by Taran Akpata. Just having a sensible, composed head to recognise that no real counter-attack was, no real options were available to him, so he's just been bundled over there. And we're in the final knockings of this contest now. Late free kick for West Ham, and Callum Leacock, who has played a big part in keeping that clean sheet for the host this evening, is going to take it. West Ham not sure whether to commit players forward or not. Leacock's cross goes deep. One in the air by Landers, bounced off the back of Ronix. Now Derrida able to play it back to the right back, who's halted. It's good tracking back by Landers. Landers crossing play. Anderlecht need a miracle if they're going to produce a victory from this position. Right now, 2 goals are needed. 1 won't do. Here to come again down the left-hand side. West Ham defending for their lives. It's infield now to Endow. It's a heavy touch. Tom Wooster, theatrical dive there, just towards the turf. But Endow, it's been a story of his evening. Just hasn't been able to make it stick when he should have done. Another heavy touch that sees the Anderlecht attack break down. With 92 on the clock, Tom Wooster has another chance to slow the clock down. And this will be a fantastic victory for Greg Lincoln's side. Towards left-hand side looking for Landers, who does win his header. Launch clear by Derrida. Anyway will do as they try and mount an attack out of nothing. Medine wins the header and slows down Onyeseke, who now will still have the ball. Ball skates past him with a heavy touch. Medine then gets contact on the winger. And Anderlecht will have to settle for a throw-in, which, considering the prowess of Babatunde Akamalady, they may actually prefer. Actually will be a free kick, actually. It was being given by the referee. So a last chance for Anderlecht defenders to push up from the back. A last chance, a late chance for an equaliser here for Anderlecht. Derrida's standing over it. All West Ham players other than Beckford in the wall are inside the opposition box. And their defensive box. Derrida. Wooster just commanding his defensive line. Wooster steps up and does deliver. Another dangerous looking ball cleared by Leacock. It's bouncing around the box. West Ham desperately trying to clear. Fearon gets a touch onto it. Beckford trying to flick it onto that patter. Derrida gets a toe on it. Beckford on the spin tries to get a touch. It's all a bit messy. Leacock, in customary Callum Leacock fashion, clears it well. And that's here with Adjani Majangi. Can't keep it in play. It's going to be an Anderlecht throw-in though. Waller looking to take it. He's passed it over to Akamalady. He'll go back for Waller. This is really into the final knockings now. If Anderlecht are going to score, it's going to have to be quickly. And it's over to Onyeseke. Usual outlet over to the left-hand side. He's got Medine. It's infield now to Derrida. He's going to try and shoot. Derrida shoots, blocked and repelled by the feet of Ryan Oyabade. Here's Ronix now up against Fearon. Gets past him, trying to get past Regan Clayton as well. Trying to get towards the byline, but he's overrun that. And that might be all she wrote for Anderlecht this evening. Just lacked that end product, that final pass, that final cross, that final finish. And West Ham, fantastic defending all evening. We'll of course be back live on this Friday the 30th of February versus Leicester City in the Premier League 2, 7 PM kickoff at the Rush Green Stadium as Tom Wooster goes long. And just awaiting the referee's whistle. We're into the closing stages. Dying embers. This Anderlecht really doesn't look like it's going to be their day. This Landers lays it off really well to Akpata. Looks in behind for Preston Fearon. He's chasing it, but Anderlecht goalkeeper Hansien does just enough to command his box well and claim it. Looking to restart play. Derrida, really neat turn away from Landers. And they'll clip a ball out to the left hand side looking for Onyeseke, but that's over his head. And he can't keep it in play. And he frustrated kick of the ball away. And there is the full-time whistle here. And it's West Ham United 1, Anderlecht 0. A fantastic way to end the Premier League International Cup campaign for the Young Hammers. As you see them celebrating with goalkeeper Tom Wooster. A clean sheet for the West Ham defence, a well-deserved clean sheet and a well-deserved victory. Unfortunately, 3 points and a 1-goal margin won't be enough to see West Ham off the foot of the table, but a really good way to wrap up this European campaign. So just to mention, we'll be back on Friday 13th of February. This game against Leicester City in the Premier League 2. But it's full time here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. It's West Ham United 1, RSC Anderlecht 0.